All right. If you're a maker, someone who designs, builds, and creates things, you know that the real wisdom, the stuff that actually matters, isn't always in a textbook. Nope. It's learned on the shop floor, during those late-night sessions in the lab, and through a lot of frustrating trial and error. So today, we're going to open up that toolbox and pull out some of that hard-won, practical advice.
Let's just kick things off with this little gem. It's kind of cynical, but you know what? It's also surprisingly true. A huge part of the job is making something incredibly complex look so elegant and simple that it seems like it was easy. It's the perfect way to set the tone for the kind of real-world stuff we're diving into.
So, to make sense of all this great advice, we're going to organize it in a way that every single maker is familiar with, the natural journey of a project. We'll start with that little spark of an idea, then we'll move into the planning and the building, and we'll finish up with the human element, working with a team. So, every project has to start somewhere, right? Before there's a blueprint, before there's a single line of code or piece of metal cut, there's just an idea. But what does it really mean to be the person who takes that idea and makes it real?
You know, this really gets to the heart of it. Discovering something is one thing, but actually creating value from it, that's the ballgame. The engineer is that essential bridge between a brilliant concept and a tangible, valuable reality.
I mean, this is such a powerful way to look at your workload. Your real value isn't in just repeating the same task over and over. It's in creative problem solving. So if the work is just turning a crank, it's not the best use of your brain. Find a way to delegate it, automate it, or just don't do it.
Okay, so you've got your creative idea. Fantastic. But hold on. Before you pick up a single tool, you absolutely need a plan. This whole phase is about thinking before you do, because trust me, foresight is way, way cheaper than having to do it all over again.
This is that classic workshop wisdom, and there's a reason it's stuck around. It just works. It's basically a simple recipe for success. Think about that ratio. You're putting in 5 parts of prep for every 1 part of actual building. That upfront investment saves you so much time fixing mistakes down the line.
And here's the flip side of that, said with a healthy dose of sarcasm. It's a great reminder. Just throwing brute force at a problem in the lab is a terrible substitute for a little bit of research. Before you start building, just check. See if someone has already solved your problem. That's the library work that can save you a world of pain.
All right, the plan is solid. Now it's time to get our hands dirty. We're heading into the workshop, the place where theory gets a serious reality check. This is where things get messy, where the real problems pop up, and honestly, where the magic happens.
This pretty much sums it up perfectly. If you decided to skip that whole blueprint stage, you're probably getting very familiar with the second time. It's a funny but painful truth. Trying to take a shortcut often ends up being the longest route.
This is the exact mindset you need when you're in the thick of it. It's not about being pessimistic, it's about being pragmatic. Things will go wrong. The whole goal is to control the failure. Go slow, pay attention, and you'll catch that tiny mistake before it turns into a total disaster.
Oh man, this is a humbling but absolutely essential piece of wisdom for anyone who designs anything. You simply cannot predict every weird thing a user might do. It's a powerful reminder to design for resilience, not just for perfection.
Anyone who's ever worked with a lathe or a mill knows this feeling deep in their bones. It's a hilarious way of personifying the fact that the universe just kind of tends towards chaos. Your job is to be smarter and honestly more stubborn than that hunk of metal.
I just love this. It's like the unofficial, unwritten manual for how to get things done in the real world. Sometimes, pure precision has to give way to a little persuasion. It's all about finding that balance between the perfect blueprint and what it actually takes to make the thing work.
And this might be the most crucial piece of advice for this entire phase. There comes a point where improving, it just becomes procrastination. Knowing when something is good enough to get out the door is a skill all on its own. Remember, done is a feature.
So you've built your thing, but let's be honest. Any project of real significance is rarely a solo act. So now we have to shift our focus from the tools and the materials to the most complex and most critical component of all, the people. This distinction from the absolute legend Grace Hopper is everything. You manage things, your inventory, your schedule, your budget. But people, the creative, thinking, feeling heart of the project, they require leadership, not management.
So, how do you build a team that's worth leading? This little rule is incredibly profound. A-level talent, the real top-tier folks, they're confident. They want to work with other A-level people. But B-level talent, They can be insecure. They worry about being outshined, so they hire C-level talent to make themselves look better. It's a downward spiral that can destroy the quality of any team.
And here we have the secret sauce for great teamwork. When the focus shifts away from who gets the credit and toward the shared goal, all the friction just melts away. That's when the real work gets done. A team that lives by this is pretty much unstoppable.
We've gone through the whole process: mindset, planning, building, leading. We've heard from engineers, leaders, and anonymous geniuses from the shop floor. But if you had to strip it all down to just one tool, one single guiding principle to rule them all, what would it be? And this is it, another pearl of wisdom from Grace Hopper. Because in the end, what we do as makers is built on a foundation of reality. Opinions change, egos can be misleading, but data, a single, accurate measurement, that is undeniable. It's the ultimate source of truth. So trust the data and keep on building.